these are just some streamers reacting to One Piece, and everyone's been asking me, when is the next edition in the How Effed is Hasan Piker franchise, the critically acclaimed, history's most appreciated franchise in the history of time? Now, for those of you who are unaware, Hasan Piker is currently 560% cooked. Until now, he's been 550% cooked, but we are definitely bumping the bar up because you might be surprised to note that he supports the violent protests in Los Angeles that is burning that shit to the ground. So we are absolutely going to be covering that to a slightly deep analysis. Yeah. We're going to be doing quite the ride here, all right? I want to make this clear. Bro's a demon. He is always on the side of violence, and he manages to be super consistent with that shit. It's crazy. So first, this is what Asmongold had to say.
Check the Elon poll. I already saw a deal.
If it loads. If it loads.
Deal. It's probably going to blow over in like 3 days. Nobody's going to give a shit. So yeah, kick raid from Nuxanor. Oh shit, thank you Nux. I appreciate it, man. And sometimes I'll watch his videos whenever I'm eating Chipotle at night. And some crazy shit, huh? The 540% whatever fuck thing. Yeah.
We are currently at 560% whatever fuck thing. Now, to be clear, this is what's going on in LA right now. It's chaos. It's pandemonium. This shit should not be happening in a random city in the United States of America. Not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna show you a little bit of an update. They are lighting cars on fire. They are firebombing people. They are smoke bombing people. They are committing acts of domestic terrorism. There is no defense for lighting cars on fire. And Hasan's coverage of this is probably one of the worst coverages of all time, where he does everything in his power to condone the violence and call Trump a Nazi 1,000,000 times. It is one of the worst videos ever. Dude, so unbelievable amounts of vandalism, people throwing rocks at cars. Look at this shit. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, if someone throws a rock at you, you should be able to fire back. Dude, look at this. These are law enforcement officers. They're throwing tear gas, smoke bombs, fireworks. This is chaos. This shit should not be happening in America. And, you know, some classic kill ICE incitement of violence, vandalism shit happening. Not only is it happening to random people in ICE, because that's not where it ever stops. That is never when it stops. Now they're also looting stores. They're breaking into convenience stores. They're buying shit. It is absolutely unreal to see this happening again. They just assaulted that random dude. And they keep doing it. For some suspicious reason, this keeps happening. He opens the door, he comes in with a big boulder, and they rob the place. This is what's happening in LA right now. It is absolutely insanity. It is an open rebellion. Send in the fucking Coast Guard. Send in the National Guard. And dude, look at the corporate press coverage. It's absolutely horrifying. Look at this. Fiery, but mostly peaceful protests after police shooting. Bro, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And I'll just be real. Because Black Lives Matter got away with it a couple of years ago, they're like, oh shit, we can do this too. No. This is a different Trump. You guys are hopefully gonna get the fuck out of the country right now. If you are attacking people, lighting shit on fire, vandalizing shit, you should be going to jail. This is an insurrection that is 1,000 times bigger than the insurrection that went on January 6th when people walked into the Capitol building and broke a window. So I just have to be real. We are living in the era of FAFO. These people are fucking around and they will be finding out. Look at the insanity. Look at the absolute chaos. Like, this should not be happening in the middle of LA. Like, this is not peaceful. This is not just using your voice, all right? This is violence. This is terrorizing an entire neighborhood, an entire city. All right, the reason why I wanted to show you actual footage and photos of this, even though I covered this, if you want to watch my actual coverage on it, I just made a video about how illegal protesters 100% find out, because Trump activated the National Guard. They're sending people into and the military to get these people out of here, which is a massive W. But the reason why I need to give you this context is because the Hasan coverage is some of the most despicable shit you would ever see in your entire life. So, Hasan immediately tweets, as this shit happens, he quotes End Wokeness, a Twitter account that says, before you ask, yes, I voted for this. Yes, ICE coming in and arresting illegal immigrants that are violent. Fuck yeah, that's exactly what everyone voted for. Everyone voted for that. No one wants illegal, violent people in the country. There are enough annoying people that are citizens. Why do I have to deal with retards that are not even citizens? Get them the fuck out. I think that this is absolutely the thing that most people think. But Hasan, terrorist supporting, America deserved 9/11 Piker, felt like saying, if you said something like this in public, you'd be put down like a dog. That's why you stick to Twitter. Says the guy who supports terrorists from his fucking socialist mansion in Beverly Hills. Right? You gotta recognize the fucking retardation here. This dude is fighting every day to save Palestine from a mansion in Beverly Hills with maids. All right, and his $300,000 sports car and his $5,000 Gucci belt. All right, what are we even talking about? Like, first of all, holy hypocrisy, Batman. And second of all, and I think this is even more important to make fun of him for, Hasan just casually admitting the radical left will kill you over free speech. Remember how Hasan keeps talking about freedom of speech, freedom of speech? I can't believe they're arresting people, freedom of speech, which is not happening. But he makes believe it happens. You gotta realize this is just Hasan saying, if you say this in public, we will kill you. Just says the quiet part out loud. Yes, you are totally correct. The left is, in fact, the party of violence. Thank you, Hasan, for once again coming here to remind us that, yes, you are the retards that are the violent fucking retards. So, yes, I'm glad that we've come together on this. Now, before we actually dive into the deep Hasan coverage of the current drama, I need you to see how Hasan basically admitted that everything he's saying is him trying his best to tone down his rhetoric.
I like that as I'm in the process of the ADL hunting me and deep.
So first of all, he makes believe that he's like some victim of massive hunting. He is, but I am the hunter. This motherfucker ain't getting away with shit.
Platforming me. This guy consistently is spamming, hey man, check this video about the ethical evaluation of Luigi Mangione's case. About
right, Luigi is the guy that murdered a healthcare CEO in broad daylight.
How,
allegedly.
Let's talk about the ethics of like assassinating a healthcare CEO. This is a video I said I was going to watch.
He just admitted the quiet part out loud, that he was going to watch it, and he was going to glaze it, and he was going to appreciate it, because Hasan does support Luigi Mangione. He wears a Luigi cosplay every time that dude shows up in court. All right, this dude is 100% a terrorist glazer. A terrorist guzzler. It does not stop any terrorist organization, any act of violence done. Bro will be there to glorp and schlorp.
Initially, but like, perhaps not so close to the ADL calling me out by name once again.
So this is him admitting that he's a gigantic pussy and he's not actually willing to talk about anything even remotely controversial because he is afraid that he might actually say something that can get him in prison because he supports terrorists, let's remember. In fact, he wanted to start off a terrorist organization in America, IRA style, bombing innocent people. As I've covered, and Hasan Piker is 550% fucked. But I just thought this would be important.
On numerous media outlets. Like, I think a lot of you are a little bit schizophrenic and completely and utterly delusional in terms of...
Look at him, he's terrified. He's like, I will not, I will do everything in my power to resist glazing a terrorist. I will do everything I can to resist glazing this guy.
How this kind of stuff works.
How it works, meaning he does support Luigi, but you don't understand. I'm not allowed to say that out loud. I have to just subtly, dog whistle and trick you into committing violence. Remember the guy that shot two Israeli Jewish people in D.C.? Well, that guy was a little bit brain broken, but he was genuine with his actions. That was a direct quote from Hasan Piker.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
You have a severe inability to fucking read the room. Have Allah ben yeni geldim. El Salvador.
And then he crashes out in Turkish because he's a supporter of a Turkish ethno-state. You see, the thing about Hasan Piker is he actually does want an ethno-state in Israel. He just, instead of wanting Israel, which is a country of 73% Jews and, 27% Arabs, he actually wants an ethno-state of 100% Arabs and 0 Jews. He's made that very clear. But anyway, to be clear, this is Hasan directly inciting violence, in my opinion. Against the United States Senator. And the reason why I need to show you this clip now is because I want to make this very clear.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone. No.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
There's about...
Yeah, so this is him telling his audience to kill a senator. That's fucking crazy. That is insane. It's wild that this alone didn't land this guy under an FBI investigation. So I wanted to show you this clip because he dabbles with the violence. He loves the violence. He lives in the violence. So knowing all this, that A, he is toning down his responses because he's terrified for his life. All right? He is scared for his life. He thinks that the crosshairs are on him. The Jews are out to get him. All right, listen, he's scared. So A, you have to realize that he is trying his best to not say anything actually violent or insightful. B, he directly incites violence against America multiple times. And C, he supports terrorist groups all over the world. United States designated terrorist organizations. So I want to show you his coverage of the LA fires because I thought the context was super important. And since no one, okay, you know what? A new Hasan fucking bullshit just dropped. You know what? I'll even show this to you right now. Just to crush another Hasan lie because this dude is an absolute fucking degenerate piece of fucking dog shit that might have had sex with children in brothels in Germany. Look at this clip, okay? Look at this clip.
There's not a single person. I mean, there's no reason to relitigate this over and over again, but there's not a single person out there that actually despises everything I stand for that has consumed my content directly.
Don't worry, today we are going to be consuming his content directly. We are going to be watching his full fucking video on how fascism has arrived in LA. That is what he titled his bullshit, fake-ass, fear-mongering video that, in my opinion, is designed to stir the pot and get people angry at the government. In my opinion, he wants violence. So let's do it, baby. In the honor of Hasan, we will be giving him the respect he so badly wanted.
LA's about to start getting lit.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to cook him because watch how much false information he pushes. Watch how much false information he pushes in this one video alone. Okay, it is infuriating. It is mind-boggling.
Lit on fire soon. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this. LAPD is collaborating.
Watch how he covers the LA literally being on fire. LA is on fire. There are riots, smoke bombs, fireworks, harassing, looting, throwing rocks at cars. It is a shit show. That place devolved into chaos. Okay? Watch his coverage.
Collaborating with ICE. This is outside of Ambience Factory. Another clear example, the LAPD and the city of Los Angeles collaborating with ICE, proving that the sanctuary city was always bullshit. Mayor of LA silence support.
Why should LAPD not work with ICE? They're both government organizations that are designed to stop crime. There's crime all over fucking LA right now.
It's this. Apparently Homeless Security and ICE is raiding a downtown Los Angeles warehouse right now.
Good.
They've locked the doors and holding the employees inside.
All right.
This is straight up Gestapo shit.
Okay, so the Gestapo are the Nazi police. Like, it is crazy that he can even compare this. These are people going after violent rioters and illegal immigrants that should not be in the country. Nazi shit.
Breaking, the president of California's largest union has been detained during an ICE raid. The SEIU California president David Huerta injured, detained at ICE raid in Los Angeles.
Maybe he shouldn't have tried stopping the government from deporting illegal people in the country. Yes, that is a communist star in his hat. He is a communist. He is a communist propagandist. He is a terror. Someone that provides, in my opinion, material support to terrorists. He should be arrested by any normal government that actually enforces laws.
Mayor Karen Bass says, "We will not stand for this." This morning, we received reports of...
All right, this is fucking awesome, this Karen Bass message.
Federal immigration enforcement actions in multiple locations in Los Angeles. The mayor of a proud city of immigrants who always contributes to the city in so many ways. I am deeply angered by what has taken place. Okay, why the f did the LAPD also do a perimeter outside of the ICE enforcement action?
Because there were people that were violently assaulting police officers, lighting cars on fire, throwing rocks at cops, destroying public property, vandalizing the city. But what are you talking about? Why is LAPD involved? He's like, I can't believe it. Karen Bass is completely capitulating by getting people to arrest violent fucking criminals.
Like, you're
people insurrecting the government. He's so mad that people are doing their job. He just wants anarchy. He just wants chaos. He just likes terrorism.
Mayor Karen Bass, you have control over your goons.
The goons are the police in this case. That, by the way, Hasan shits on police all the time. Hasan laughs when he sees videos of police getting shot. All right? So this is the guy that's telling you to control your goons. The goons are arresting the criminals. Thank God for the goons.
LA emergency protests from the Community Self-Defense Coalition stop deportations now. ICE has hundreds of members of our community kidnapped and is holding them at this location.
Kidnapped. Dude, look how they fucking do this shit. They call it kidnapping because it's like, dude, it's not, no one's getting kidnapped. There are people getting arrested. No one's getting kidnapped.
What the fuck is happening, bro? What the fuck? This is my backyard. Jesus, Lord mercy. FBI riot team is out in the streets of Los Angeles and getting pushed out by community on the ground. I can't even go down there today because my live stream backpack got canceled.
He's such a pussy. He's such a coward. It's amazing. Look at this guy. Oh, I can't go to Gaza. I would literally go to Gaza, but I can't go to Gaza because it's dangerous. I would literally go to this riot. Oh, I can't go to the riot because my backpack's not working. My backpack broke, guys. Listen, I'm sorry. I have a twisted hair in my nose. I can't make... What a fucking bitch. Out here. Bro's literally sitting there from his fucking mansion yelling and screaming about resistance.
Man, I have to get it. I have to...
Yeah, we got to give him a break. He's on his period.
Reopen an account. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
But what we want to...
So do it. So go to the riot. Go help your boys.
Point out here is how these officers are now leaving. The ATF officers are very slowly moving, and you'll notice that some on the ground are trying to get the people to move out of...
By the way, you see what the chat is spamming, by the way. ACAB is all cops are bastards, right? You get the fuck out of there, ICE, ACAB, Nazi shit. You know, fucking pigs. Like, look at his chat, by the way.
And you'll notice that some on the ground are trying to get the people to move out of the way. We have a piece of video that showed the vans as they were departing with some of the people that had been detained in those vans. And it was a very different scene. You can see that they've gotten the...
Holy shit. This is madness, dude.
I agree. Why are there people rushing up to police cars, stopping them from driving? But in his idea, the madness is that there are police cars.
Jesus Christ. The Gestapo is out.
And he shows images of Nazi Germany. Oh, God, it's crazy. This unbelievable level of propagandizing, like this insane fear-mongering is ridiculous. Now, I want you to notice something, okay? Pay attention. I just showed you a plethora of images of shit on fire and of violent protesters. He does not show any of that in his video covering how fascism has arrived in LA. I'm not joking. This one clip over here is all the footage he actually shows of the riot. This is a political guy, right? He's a political streamer. He's a journalist on the ground. He shows no footage of the fucking riot.
Out and about, especially where...
Is that happening? Do you see this happening at all?
This is downtown Los Angeles. Downtown Los Angeles. This is a crazy place to do this because California is a state that has a shit ton of immigrants in it and a shit ton of undocumented immigrants in it as well.
Great, get them the fuck out.
Oh, and
they shouldn't be here. They're illegal in the country. Get them out.
It's supposed to be a sanctuary state, and Los Angeles is supposed to be a sanctuary city. So not only will the people of Los Angeles not fuck around with this, and they'll definitely get very, very mad about this, but also on top of...
By the way, realize this is Hasan's editor showing the footage because he refused to show it on his stream. Okay? This is what Hasan's editor put on the video, not Hasan.
That, like, the state...
And also they're showing stuff where the cops are fighting back, not when the actual riot started.
Government and the local government is supposed to protect these people.
Bro, they're beating up police and firebombing cars. What are you talking about? They're supposed to be protecting these people. All these people, they're just mostly peaceful fucking terrorists. Mostly peaceful protesters that are harassing, attacking, looting, and firebombing shit. Mostly peaceful, guys.
What the f...
Stay on the sidewalk, please. Stay on the sidewalk.
Yeah, bring in the military, baby.
Earlier today, Stephen Miller let out a notice to ICE and Homeland Security and Customs and Border Patrol to 5x their apprehension numbers, by the way.
Good shit. If they're illegal, get them out.
This is the result of that. And obviously...
No! This is not the result of that. This is the result of violent riots. Okay? Liar. What is happening, bro? This is the result of the violent riots that went on this city, burning cars and attacking people. Stop, Mr. fucking Fidel Castro cosplayer here.
Because all of the actual criminal migrants were already being prosecuted by the previous administration, as I told you.
Wrong. There were tons of criminal migrants that were not properly prosecuted and let out of prison by the previous administration. And also, every illegal immigrant is a criminal by definition because they entered illegally. All right, he's talking about migrants that have criminal records aside from the crime of breaking into the country. Nah, dude, sorry, bro. If you go into the country illegally, then you are a criminal migrant. And by the way, to be clear, they did not deport anyone that is not illegally in the country. I want to make this clear, okay? This didn't happen, okay? Everyone's shouting and screaming about how they're getting, like, legal people. They didn't. They didn't yet. Could you imagine the uproar if they did? They did not.
People that they can actually get are non-criminal migrants that are waiting for asylum and
that are illegally in the country.
Another way to try and boost those numbers and continue mass deportations is trying to have people with asylum cases that are already on the court docket come into the courts and then apprehend them at the hallways of the courts. Like, they bring people in and they're like, oh, here's your regular court ordered date. And they go into the court, they talk to the judge, they walk outside, and they get apprehended.
Why are they in the country if they didn't even go through a court case yet, or if they didn't apply? Why are they in the country? They're not there legally, so why are they there?
Honeypotting people who are lawfully cooperating with the federal government.
Yeah, now they are, but they're in the country not legally, so they should have lawfully cooperated before entering the country illegally.
They did this with Mohsen Mahdawi as well, if you remember.
No, they didn't. That's a whole other situation.
He was a green card holder who went into...
Who supported terrorist organizations.
A naturalization ceremony where they kidnapped him. So he wasn't...
Yeah, they didn't kidnap him, all right? They detained him, and they detained him because he was supporting terrorist organizations. All right, he was a guy on a student visa that supported anti-Western values, that supported the downfall of Western civilization, okay? Why should he be here? Why should the country be like, yes, we would definitely want to invite you into our country where you could, help contribute to the downfall of Western civilization. Why are we playing this game?
Even like an undocumented migrant and an asylum seeker with like the proper documentation waiting for his application to be fulfilled, which again is legal. This kind of...
It is legal to not give a student visa to a guy that supports United States designated terrorist organizations.
Is not done to stop crime is my argument.
All right, so his argument that this is not done to stop crime. But you see that the retard in the room, which is Hassan Diddy Bin Laden Adolf Epstein Piker over here, he might not know this because he's too busy having sex with prostitutes. But the reality is, this is stopping crime. You know why? Because 99% of the border crossings illegally have dropped since Trump went into office. That is 99% less crime. This guy does not give a shit about 300,000 children that went missing at the border. He never cared about the fentanyl deaths that were pouring over the border. He never cared about the criminals that were entering the country. He never cared about any of these people. You know why? Because he's making believe that none of this existed. This guy supports everything anti-American ever of all time, all right? 99% decrease at the border means 99% less crime committed by illegal people in the country, as well as the crime of jumping over the border illegally.
Is my point.
So his point is wrong.
This kind of enforcement is done specifically to engage in a white nativist, anti-immigrant propaganda operation.
Yeah, so that's fucking bullshit. That's so bullshit, it's crazy. Yes, it's clearly a white nativist situation. He's so busy being a white nativist about it, he accidentally employed Kash Patel, who is not a white guy or a nativist. He was so busy being white nativist, his ex-bestie, Elon Musk, is from South Africa. What? Crazy how that happens. Bro, you guys are shitty as fuck. Like, what is even going on, bro? What is even happening? You people are so pathetic. Oh, my Lord. They're deporting illegal immigrants. They're not deporting all Mexicans. All right, give me an example of one Mexican guy that was deported that is a citizen of the United States. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't. Oh, this is so sad. Don't forget that the vice president of the United States' wife is an Indian lady. Right? This is like levels of bullshit that no one has ever anticipated. It's clearly just doing it to be white nativists. It's just trying to undo the great replacement theory. Well, they just only want white people, which is why they're deporting rapists and pedophiles. Yeah, great argument there, Hamas.
This is, one, federal overreach.
It is not. They're deporting people that are illegally in the country, which is based.
Of epic magnitude.
It's not epic magnitude. They're bombing fucking police cars. Arrest the fuck out of them immediately.
going into a sanctuary state and going into a sanctuary city where
You're allowed to do that when there are riots and violence and, shit like that.
no one in California, people in California yell about the crime all the time, but no one in California talks about undocumented migrants.
Yeah, because they were socially convinced by the fucking propagandists and the far left government and the fucking bullshit propaganda pieces of garbage in LA that illegal immigrants are better than everybody else. That's right. Your grandparents came here and settled in the country in 1776. Well, those guys are villains. You see, that guy that is illegally in the country, no, that dude should be here. Yup. Everyone's a colonizer except for the fucking people that jump into the country illegally. You are such a wild, dick-sucking, terrorist-loving fuck. It is crazy that this is happening.
People in California do not point to undocumented migrants.
Who cares what they point to? They are part of the country, and they elected Donald Trump as the president of the United States largely because of the migrant invasion, as they call it. And honestly, when I see what's going on in LA, I actually agree. There's a foreign entity, a borderline criminal army storming the streets of Los Angeles. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And say, this is insane. We have to do something about it. As a matter of fact, it's one of the greatest examples that I always use all the time. Like, people will make a big fuss about undocumented migrants in Texas, but there's more undocumented migrants in the state of California. And
he is like actually a retard. I don't even know why we're like playing this fucking game. You ready for a crazy revelation? All right. So in 2020, according to the California Department of Justice, 3,946 Californians died due to fentanyl overdose in 2020. In 2021, 5,900 people died of fentanyl in 2021. In 2022, 6,400. That's even more. In 2023 and beyond, we didn't have complete approximations. But since 2020, it seems like there were between 27 and 29,000 fentanyl-related deaths in California. How the fuck did fentanyl get there? Huh? Where do you think that shit came from? I'll be real, it didn't get there legally. So how did it get there, motherfucker? So just because the complete retards in California that have been brainwashed by the insane woke bullshit retards, just because of that, you really think that nothing's happening? Mostly from China? Yeah, but how does China get it into the United States? Over the border. So these people are actually retarded if they think that it doesn't affect anyone, that there are mass illegal immigration pouring over the border, including gangs and sex traffickers and human traffickers and drug traffickers. And that's just fentanyl. That is literally just fentanyl. The Californians are retards. Not all Californians are retards. They're mostly peaceful retards over there in California, okay? I'll just be real. So when Hasan makes an argument like this, it is so wildly misrepresenting the facts in the most despicable and dishonest way possible. Because he's saying just because they want the Californians want the illegal immigrants there, so therefore there shouldn't be a problem. That's retarded. There's a country. The president was elected based on this. Shut the fuck up.
And yet no one ever complains about it because it is a part of our communities.
Okay, so if I don't complain that there are people raping and murdering people, does that mean that the government should not arrest them? If nobody complains. Let's say tomorrow California wakes up and they decide that rape becomes legal. And all of a sudden everyone in California is raping each other, all right? This is just a hypothetical, all right? But everyone decided in California it's okay. Should the government arrest the rapists? Now, I personally think they should. Personally, I do believe that that should be the case. Yeah, they should definitely do that shit. But why? The people in California don't care. I don't care.
Undocumented and documented migrants are a big part of our community.
Well, the undocumented ones should not be a part of the community.
It is a part of the social fabric in Los Angeles. It's a social fabric in a
yeah. Los Angeles' social fabric sucks though.
Part of the California culture.
So not a good
They
argument.
are workers that pay taxes.
A lot of them don't pay any taxes, which is part of the reason why they use them, because they bring in illegal immigrants that can't get jobs anywhere and they make them fucking work hard as balls. They pay them off the books. They don't pay taxes. They work a lot. They take Social Security that I am paying for and that every American pays for, that they are taking. They are a burden on the system 100%. There's no way you could say this. They take jobs from other people because people can pay them less, because people can pay them off the books that they do not pay taxes for, that my taxes go to support their life. Sorry, you're retarded.
They're just trying to make a living.
And they vote. All right, there's no voter ID laws in California. They fucking vote.
They're not doing anything to anyone. They're not.
Well, that's just not true. That's a lie.
No, they're not disrupting anything.
Well,
and
some
yet,
are.
now the federal government has decided that they're going to do this anyway. And
Yeah, that's the law. He's so mad that countries have laws. And every time that there's some sort of legal thing that happens in the country, he's so mad that you can't just have an uprising, a violent uprising. Bro is praying, please, please, let Hamas start a fucking sleeper terrorist cell in America.
here we are, a tremendous amount of resistance and a tremendous amount of resentment born out of this kind of illegal enforcement, this ridiculous
It's not illegal enforcement.
action. Our leadership needs to step in. This is the reason why
The leadership did step in. The leadership stepped in. These people were fucking bombing cars. Yep, the leadership stepped in and they're going to jail. Sorry.
people vote Democrat to step in times like this.
What the fuck does that even mean? Are the Democrats supposed to stand and protect the violent rioters?
So that there are sanctuary city protections. It is ridiculous. The fact that Los Angeles Police Department was
Look how he's just ranting and raving without showing any footage of the actual incidents.
offering cover for ICE and federal law enforcement to
He's so mad that people are actually keeping the law and protecting the law enforcement.
engage in this dragnet operation at a fucking warehouse is completely unacceptable.
Yeah? Says who? Not the law. Not the Democrats even. Not the Republicans. No one thinks it's unacceptable except for this one terrorist supporting simp.
I can't believe it. Like this
no.
is pure and utter fascism.
It's pure fascism. Arresting people that do crimes, fascism. Look at this guy. Look at him. It's pure fascism. Arresting criminals? Oh, fuck. Oh, anything but that, please.
In full display. Make
Right.
up a fake problem.
Look how he's trying so hard to tell his people that they need to fight back. This is fascism. It's evil. It's overreach. It's kidnapping. Stand up. Fight back. That is what he is saying here. All right?
Undocumented migrants are responsible for crime.
They are responsible for crime. It doesn't matter if it's a lower rate. It doesn't matter if it's a higher rate. They are responsible for crime. If one person in the United States got raped by an illegal immigrant, then that is a tragedy. And that shouldn't have happened because that person should not be in the country. It is completely irrelevant.
And
this
then
is such an irrelevant stat.
The process of fixing the fake problem that you made up, that you
It's not made up. It is a real problem. It's a burden on taxing. It's a burden on tons of things. There are criminals that do this. They are pouring over the border with drugs and with sex trafficking. Like, dude, stop making believe this doesn't happen.
really whipped up a frenzy around. You go and you hurt regular ass people.
Yeah, which regular ass people got hurt? I didn't see any regular ass people getting hurt. If that happens, that's abhorrent. But if the regular ass people are rioting and breaking into stores and throwing rocks at cars and lighting trucks on fire, then those are not regular ass people. Those are criminals.
Normal ass people. You're just your neighbors. You know what I mean?
What's up, my neighbors? Today we are getting arrested by ICE.
People that are not causing harm to anybody.
Yeah, like the people that are lighting cars on fire? What about those people? Those people not... What are you talking about, you retard?
While simultaneously claiming that you are doing this because you have to go after criminals. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you deporting 4-year-old cancer patients then?
Are they legal in the country? Obviously, that's a horrible situation, and it's really, really sad. But you realize that this headline is wildly misrepresenting the case. 3 U.S. citizen children, one with cancer, deported to Honduras, lawyers say, with the parents that are illegal in the country. Dude, stop. All right, but you realize what this is? It's like, okay, so leave the 3 kids here and just send the parents away. Would that be better? Is that what you wanted, bro? Like, it's crazy.
Why are you deporting mothers? Why are
I
you
don't know, the mothers shouldn't have come here illegally.
going to a...
Dude, look at the fucking amounts of peddling bullshit. In Casey, mother of 3 U.S. children, including autistic 5-year-old to be deported. Everyone's an autistic 5-year-old. Have you noticed? The emotional manipulation is crazy. Listen, lady, you should have thought about this before you decided to have your autistic 5-year-old. You should have considered that when you entered the country illegally.
A warehouse where people are
Deport the family with her. No one's stopping you.
working during the work.
Look at this. Look how crazy this is. It's like this previous one is. Dude, look at how ridiculous this is.
Mothers.
Look at how he does this. 3 citizen children with cancer deported with the parents. 3 U.S. citizen children not deported, just the parent. Look at this. Look at the hypocrisy. Damn if you do, damned if you don't. Like, do you see how retarded this is? No, I can't believe you would deport the children. No, I can't believe you wouldn't deport the children. No, it doesn't matter.
Why are you going to a warehouse where people are working during the workday?
Maybe they're not legally in the country and they should leave. If someone breaks into your house illegally, you kick them out, all right? If they break into your house and they shit on your couch and they clog your toilet and they start screaming, globalize the intifada, like, you would kick them out of your house.
To do a dragnet operation and apprehend as many people as you possibly can.
Well, if they're criminals, yeah.
Why? Are those the criminals? And it's...
Yeah, yes, literally, yes. Yes, they entered the country illegally. They are the criminals. They activated the military because these people were burning cars. Yes, you are right. No more emotional blackmailing.
Not happening for any good reason other than the fact that the Republicans have successfully dehumanized entire swaths of the American population.
They're not American. They're not American. Oh, stop, bro.
No mistake. A lot of these dudes that they're apprehending are already either A, waiting for their court date, and they are they have the legal allowance to be inside of US borders. They are simply waiting for their court date so they can get processed or have actual visas, temporary work.
Look how he mixes these situations together. These temporary visas that he's talking about he's talking about people that are supporting terrorist organizations, all right? That they're removing their visas because they're supporting terrorists. So they're like, why the fuck do I need to give you a visa? It is a privilege to be in this country, all right? If you are going to support the enemy, then with all due respect, I don't want you here. And look at his chat, just constantly bring back militias, armed civilian patrols. Like, look at his chat. If this isn't a honeypot situation, we're missing something.
Work orders. They are allowed to be here. They're allowed to work. It's the administration that magically removes that dial or turns it in the other direction and says, nah, you're illegal now. You're an illegal alien. We have revoked your protection. Do you want?
You do realize this case, the U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump end deportation protection for 350,000 Venezuelans. That's because they were literally in the country on a time limit, and the time limit ran out, okay? Because of the unrest in Venezuela, they were in the country for a specific amount of time, and those protections ran out, I think, in like 2021 or something. And it's not that they let the deportation protections drop. It ended already. The time ran out. So this is, again, a misrepresentation of the facts.
Understand? When someone says illegal alien, there is an image in the back of people's minds, a racist one for the most part.
No, there isn't.
This idea that like some MS-13 tatted up gang member.
There's no way. I didn't even notice this. He shows a picture of Tectone with a berserk symbol. What?
Secretly hopped over the border.
Bro, dude, this guy is an American citizen, the son of an American citizen that fought in the military. What is happening?
Right? And came in with a bunch of
oh my God. I cannot believe he even showed that, to be honest.
Drugs, maybe like kidnapped people, did a bunch of crimes. That's not how it is.
They broke into the country illegally. They committed a crime. They should leave. I really am shocked that this needs to be a discussion. All right, let me be honest. If someone breaks into the country illegally, the punishment for that crime should be to kick them the fuck out. Unlike Tectone, who's an American citizen, goddammit. And for real, he's here. He's an American citizen, and he has the right to be here. And this dude is gonna sit there and he's gonna grandstand that anyone they don't like gets arrested. That's literally not happening.
Here, if you want to understand like how little this has.
Look how he decides, you know what?
Bunch of crimes. That's not how it is. Here.
I'm not going to show you any more of these actual protests.
If you want to understand like how little this has anything to do with criminality, I'm
going to show you a completely random clip that I found from somewhere that's going to absolutely show you the proof.
Little this has to do with criminality. Look at this. Trump's masked ICE Gestapo snatches a woman when her lawyer.
Anyone that calls ICE the Gestapo is someone that's not worth listening to.
Goes to the bathroom, then forcibly carries her into an elevator after she appears to faint. They wait when someone is at an immigration court proceeding. They're in the hallway. ICE comes in, apprehends the person in the hallway when they notice that her lawyer is in the bathroom.
Well, let's get her lawyer.
Her lawyer's in the bathroom. That's why they're taking her now.
I mean, that's the theory of this random guy that's filming the TikTok. But I guess, hey, might as well just push that propaganda so your chat could say Nazi scum 1,000 times.
You waited until her lawyer leaves. Seriously, her lawyer's in the bathroom. I'm recording this.
mask agents, by the way.
Yes, because people are harassing them and doxing them and swatting them.
It's illegal now for you to wear a mask when you're at a protest.
Thank God. I love that idea, by the way. I think that's awesome. I don't want to see people with masks in protests. If you're fighting for something, I think you should do it. Do it. Hell yeah. Who needs a mask? Listen, I don't show my face, so I'll be real. I totally get not wanting to show your face. I fully support that, but I think it's kind of funny.
Or just in general, even if you want to mask up for other safety.
All right, that's bullshit. He just invented that. Nowhere did it say that you're not allowed to wear masks for safety.
Your own privacy.
Oh, privacy.
But also, like, again,
Safety.
for health reasons, right? You don't want to be a super spreader or whatever.
Bro, are we still doing this super spreader bullshit?
That's illegal. But cops, they can wear masks to hide and protect their identities.
Yeah, because retards like you that call for violence would go and fuck them up. Would go and harass them at their houses. Tom Homan has 1,000 people protesting in front of his house every single day.
Interesting. Public servants wearing masks to hide their identities.
Did you know that the head of the FBI was swatted? Sounds retarded, but it happened. What? They're threatening the children of these officers. I get it.
Why has this become such a common meta, you think? It's
because of violent retards on the left.
Become a common meta because they know what they're doing.
Arresting criminals?
They know what they're doing is Nazi shit. They know that there is going to be repercussions for this kind of behavior.
Yeah, by violent retards on the left.
It should be illegal for the cops to wear masks while they're in the process of doing cop shit. We pay these people salaries. What do you mean? They get to just like apprehend people at their court proceedings.
Why not? Why shouldn't they be allowed to wear masks? I don't understand. Why should they not be allowed to wear masks? They have a badge.
Her lawyer's in the bathroom.
Remember in Gaza when they protest and then Hamas murder them? You know Hamas murders Palestinians that protest in Gaza. You're aware of that, right?
Hey, Kate, they're taking your client. Kate, they're taking your client.
And then she fake faints.
She's fainting, Kate.
Can I go in the bathroom?
She's a female. Yes, you're allowed to go in the bathroom.
Hall police over here.
Dude, she's fainting on the hallway. Wait until get medical.
No.
You can't, you want a medical? You can't transport her.
No, you're not a medical.
Get medical services. Come on. No. Hey, quit, you can't.
This can lead to random ass people pretending to be cops. It already has. A bunch of white supremacists have also been deputized.
Yeah, no one's saying that it's okay if people are pretending to be cops.
According to eyewitness tests.
Bro, dude, no way. Look at the Pride Month Independent logo. That's crazy.
Testimony so far in other parts of the country.
Dude, look at the article that he shows. It literally disproves the argument he's making. He's saying that ICE is deputizing white supremacists. But the article that he shows from the gayest newspaper on the planet, Homeland Security hits back at claims ICE agent at Martha's Vineyard has a white supremacist tattoo. You realize it is literally, the article literally is going against the point that you're making.
They don't have enough manpower to do this kind of shit to begin with.
Yeah, because there's a lot of terrorists in the country.
With the police force that already exists, even though the police force that already exists is pretty fucking large, trying to do mass deportations of 20 million people, Gestapo style.
They're not putting them in concentration camps and killing them, okay? This isn't Gestapo style. The Gestapo didn't arrest illegal immigrants. They arrested citizens.
Nazi Germany style requires an endless amount of support. They have to deputize people or use the military or use the National Guard. That's what the federal government is trying to do.
You can't manhandle her into an elevator. You're manhandling her into an elevator. You're manhandling her into an elevator, dude. Her lawyer's in the bathroom.
Is there someone that knows the legal ramifications of intervening on this? Oh, there is nothing. Like, I mean, you will also go to jail.
Yeah, baby. If you fucking beat up a cop, you go to jail.
They'll probably release you or you'll get obstruction of justice charges. The only way to stop this is with overwhelming numbers.
Dude, he's trying to galvanize a terrorist organization.
When there are like a lot of people, like too many people.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
And the cops feel unsafe, I guess.
Oh, you want to make the cops unsafe?
Yes, to conduct their activities like this. Only then have I ever seen
has he ever seen? He does on-the-ground journalism. He sees this shit all the time.
Police officers back away. Right. There are images from Minneapolis.
Is that inciting violence, chat? What do you think? overwhelming numbers to make the police feel unsafe? What do you think? Is that inciting violence? I don't know. I leave that to you in the comment section below. But I think Hasan is 560% fucked right here.
And even parts of San Diego, or even what you're seeing right now. This kind of mobilization, like mass community mobilization, protecting one another when our institutions won't protect us, is the only way.
Well, they don't protect the illegal criminals, right?
To disrupt these sorts of illegal and unjustifiable, unconscionable acts.
There are no unconscionable acts. They're arresting criminals
That the federal government is entertaining and engaging in. And of course, given the way that this administration is actively trying to criminalize speech.
They're not criminalizing speech. They did not invent a single law about speech.
I'm certain that even me saying this one day could be presented as illegal.
Yes, inciting violence is illegal. It's always been illegal. It has always not been protected by the First Amendment. Inciting violence has always been criminal in the United States. Bro is just coating the fucking floor, making himself like he's a fucking martyr.
Oh, Hasan is urging people to do something illegal. It's like, no.
Yes.
People have a right to engage in civil disobedience.
They're lighting shit on fire. What are you talking about? They're throwing fireworks at police officers. They're throwing rocks at cars. They're flipping vehicles. What are you talking about? They're vandalizing. This is not civil disobedience. That's why I showed you why he didn't want to show the actual footage. That's why I wanted to show you earlier the actual context. None of this is civil disobedient.
And there are unjustifiable acts that the state engages in that people have every right to resist against. If you look at
what kind of resist? Civilly and obediently?
Our history with chattel slavery and the defense of chattel slavery. If you look at our history.
Shout out to white guys that abolished slavery, by the way. Shout out to white people.
With the civil rights struggle. And
that was obviously a sort of joke.
You understand that brave individuals that found these actions, these legal actions by the state to be unconscionable and took matters into their own hands and protested against these kinds of actions and disrupted these kinds of illegal and unjustifiable actions. If you find those people,
you know, if none of these people would have committed any, if they wouldn't have broken the law, they wouldn't get arrested, right?
People to be in the right historically, then you can understand where we're at right.
I will show you an image of Martin Luther King to compare this to what the fuck
right now as well.
How is this a comparison? What are you doing? Look, here is an image of Martin Luther King. Go beat up police officers.
This is inhumane, right? You're ripping people away from their day-to-day existence for...
Well, they shouldn't have come into the country illegally, I guess.
No reason other than the fact that you want them out of the country.
Well, because they came into the country illegally.
Right? By lying about their background, saying that...
The background lie... There were not background lies. What are you talking about? This is your proof? Fact check. Trump's own campaign can't find proof of his mental institution immigration story. That has nothing to do with anything. That is completely irrelevant. That's just Trump saying they're pouring over the border, mental institutions, prisons, rapists. Notice how none of that was a hoax. It was just the mental institutions that they say is a hoax. Dog, they go up to these people. If they're not American citizens and they do not have papers to be in the country legally, they remove them from the country. Unfathomably based.
They're criminals and dehumanizing them.
They're not dehumanizing them. They broke into the country illegally.
In the exact...
Every country's allowed to have borders except for America. The funny thing about like these far lefties, every single one of them, it's like, we do not have the right to be in America. We are evil colonizers. We have colonized this place. We must acknowledge the land that we've stolen. Anyway, these people broke into the country. We need to give them a life here. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exact same way that Nazis did with Jews.
It's not the same as Nazis with Jews, because Jews were citizens of Germany and Poland and everything else. And the Nazis decided to murder as many Jews as they possibly could in Germany and in Poland and everywhere else that they possibly could. How is that even remotely similar to having a country with borders and laws?
Who's socialist, communist, and using the same process.
Yeah, dude, oh, the Holocaust and what it did to the poor Jews, socialists, and communists. Yep, when I think Holocaust, my first thought is the communists. Oh, the poor communists.
To basically rip them away from their communities, away from their families, away from their loved ones, away from their place of work, because that's what the Nazis did as well.
Yeah, but they were legal in the country. They weren't illegal.
It was a process of denaturalization. Jews were no longer considered citizens of the state.
Yeah, but they were citizens, and then they removed their citizenship. None of these people were citizens. These people broke into the country illegally.
After the race laws, Same with socialists and communists that were also sent to these concentration camps. They were considered no longer individuals of the state. They were actively dehumanized against, and then simultaneously, through the legal process, they became non-citizens. And you
Yeah, but the thing is, they were citizens, and they invented a legal process to remove their citizenship because they wanted to kill Jews, all right? So I'm glad that we're learning history here, because it's important to note that none of that is happening in America even remotely a little, okay? Not even a little bit. Dude, they are not revoking anyone's citizenship. Not a single person had their citizenship revoked in the United States of America. These are people that came into the country illegally. So they're removing them from the country that they should not be in. Bro, America's so bad and so awful, and everyone is trying to be here. Like, what? Well, come on, guys.
You can do whatever you want to non-citizens in the, at the time. And
what are they doing? Whatever they want to the non-citizens? Do they have concentration camps and gas chambers for the illegal immigrants? What are you talking about? And this is also important to note. Trump released an app where every single illegal immigrant in the country could just fill out their information and say, hey, I'm here illegally. I would like to leave now, please. And the government will pay for your plane ticket and fly you out. The Jews did not get that option in Nazi Germany.
Clearly.
I love how this dude, like, every single argument for Hasan always somehow winds down to, yeah, Jews. Oh, Jews.
That's what this administration is trying to do as well. So even the mechanisms of the state are damn near identical.
They're not damn near identical in, like, any way at all.
I do not think that this will stop with just undocumented migrants.
All right, so where's it going to go? Jews? Who's next?
Why do you need fascism in a country like the U.S.? Both parties are already puppets of capitalists. Great question. It's because...
It's not a great question. Oh, my God.
Because when both parties are still puppets of capitalists and capital owners, there is still a lot of instability born out of the contradictions worsening. There's still a lot of economic volatility, economic instability, and people get angry, they get restless, and one party, at the very least, has to redirect that attention and redirect that anger and resentment towards more vulnerable populations in an effort to keep things going. Because if people don't actually decide that undocumented migrants or like trans people or all these like vulnerable defenseless populations are actually responsible for all the awful things.
Are you retarded? Like, why does he do this? He lumps in every fucking poor guy on the planet. He's like, oh, the trans people. They're totally deporting trans people. Trans genocide happening. You know what's happening in Gaza? That's happening to trans people in America. Bro, what is going on? Like, why do people even let him deal? Well, why do people let him yap? Operation Let Him Speak. The mental gymnastics are absolutely insane.
That they're experiencing, they might actually catch wind of who is really responsible for
the billionaires. It's always the billionaires with this fucking socialist cock.
For the destruction of their living standards. It's that simple. Like,
right. It's capitalism bad. Capitalism bad, socialism good every time. Niels, thanks for the sub.
You might ask yourself that same exact question with Nazi Germany. You know, why did they do this? Well, there was tremendous economic instability, and there was a growing momentum of communism, trade unionism, socialism in the country at a time of unprecedented economic volatility in the aftermath of World War I.
Right, but that is not the case in America, just to be clear.
And the damage that caused, and one group quickly seized on this and redirected that enmity towards social groups that were both simultaneously incredibly powerful and also incredibly weak and dangerous.
Explain to me how a social group could be simultaneously incredibly powerful and simultaneously incredibly weak. Does anyone even fact check this guy? Or does he just talk? Like, you have to listen to this sentence again.
Groups that were both simultaneously incredibly powerful and also incredibly weak and dangerous.
Right, incredibly powerful and simultaneously weak and dangerous. The sentence makes no sense at all.
And those groups ended up seizing all of the power while directly collaborating with liberals in power and also with capital owners that wanted to maintain that same hierarchy.
They wanted to kill all the Jews. That was another little thing that happened in Nazi Germany.
Wanted to maintain their same standards of profit. They wanted to continue the way that the system was going. They were more fearful of...
What does this have to do with deporting people that are illegal in the country? Like, dude is just sitting there fear-mongering for half an hour without showing a single bit of footage of what's actually going on.
A workers' revolt or revolution than they were of some kind of fascist control, because fascist control would mean, yeah, sure, a lot of people get killed in the process, but I'm fine. I'm a business owner and I get to maintain my profits.
Says the guy living in a $3 million fucking house in Hollywood, right? What is going on, bro? What is happening?
Profits are the highest order of priority for you. You don't care what happens to other people. You don't care what happens to workers. You don't care what happens to...
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, though, because Elon Musk joined the government, lost money. Donald Trump is the only president in the United States history that lost money. So you must really like him, because he's proven that profits are not his motivator. So you must be like a big Trump fan.
Workers that become non-citizens in the process, as long as those workers don't actually eat away at your profit margins. One reason people in the U.S.
Reminder that this dude's worth at least $20 million, all right? Reminder that this guy is the uber giga rich that he's talking about.
Don't see fascism creeping is because they can't imagine that something this bad could happen here. Denial is a powerful thing until it's too late. I think that plays a role in this.
Yeah, denial is not... People aren't noticing that a fascism is creeping. But to be honest, everyone elected him to deport illegal immigrants. That's why he won the election, okay? That was his number one thing that he ran on. That is why he ran the election. Y'all are retarded.
For sure. There's also a lot of people who just simply are... Like, American entitlement, American exceptionalism, American individualism are such powerful forces.
Dude, what are we doing? What the fuck are you talking about?
Such powerful cultural forces in this country that a lot of people genuinely don't understand how this will inevitably impact them. Even for selfish reasons, even if you can't recognize the humanity of these people being ripped apart.
Guys, humanity is getting ripped apart when laws are getting enforced. But let me remind you, America bad, and it's coming for you.
You can at the very least recognize that, like, when this kind of instability takes root, who's going to fucking pick the fruit?
I mean, I think this dude needs to move back to Turkey.
You can think about it in an incredibly selfish way like that. But even then, Americans have no capacity to recognize that, right? Because they're too stupid.
Of course. All the Americans are too dumb to notice.
But then also... in the long term, these kinds of violent enforcement actions will inevitably creep its way into your life as well.
Arresting people violently is the point of laws. If laws don't have enforcement, then laws are worthless. Pro-slavery Hasan argument. Like, what are we doing here? What is happening? Is he against jails? No, he's not. He's actually pro-jails. Just jailing people he specifically doesn't like.
It will happen to someone that you love, a neighbor, an immediate family member.
Well, if they're here illegally, then, they should leave. Because it's not legal. And there's a reason why there needs to be laws in a country. I don't understand what is happening.
A loved one. This is He's
like trying these emotional blackmailing. They'll come for you. They'll turn for you. Listen, bro. Listen. A country needs laws. Stop.
Stoppable force. It does not go away. Fascism is like a ticking time bomb where you either try to stop it.
Hasan is pro-fascism. He is. He's just pro-Islamic fascism instead of being pro-Western fascism. He does support fascism. You think Hamas is not a fascist government? The way they fucking rule their people and anyone that dissents gets executed in the streets? He is a supporter of fascism. He just supports the other fascists.
Dead in his tracks at its inception, or once enough instability and enough violence has taken root.
The violence is being perpetrated by the leftists in America right now. Dude, let me give you an example, okay? Elon Musk joined forces with Donald Trump. The leftists, they bombed Teslas. They blew up fucking Tesla industries. They vandalized Tesla vehicles, all right? Just last week, Elon Musk had a bit of a tuffle with Donald Trump. They beefed. 80% of MAGA, I would say, is anti-Elon right now because 80% of MAGA really hate that Elon tweeted that Trump was a pedophile. Perfectly justifiably so. I did not see a single video of a right-wing guy keying a Tesla or bombing a Tesla dealership or vandalizing shit. With all due respect, the left is doing the violence. And yes, if they do commit violence, then because, thank God, we live in a country of law and order, they should get arrested immediately.
In society, that the dam breaks and everyone engages in popular mobilization. And the problem is, the longer you wait to stop these kinds of actions, to stop fascism from growing, the harder it will be to resist against it. And the death toll will be...
The death toll, bro. Who died? Who died, bro? What death toll?
Far larger. Civil disobedience and protests are the actual most peaceful ways of resisting against these kinds of fascist.
Good point. But the reason why the National Guard was mobilized was not because of the peaceful protests. It was mobilized because they were blowing up cop cars. What is going on?
Kind of fascist actions. Violence in retaliation against this sort of thing is inevitable. When it reaches a certain boiling...
They started it! Dude, I think you got something totally mixed up. The cops are the reaction, okay? The crimes are the action, all right? If no crimes would be committed, the cops would not be arresting anybody. They're arresting people that are vandalizing shit because they're criminals. They're arresting people that broke into the country illegally because they're criminals, all right? Stop, bro. It's actually retarded how he's able to manipulate his audience without showing any fucking videos of what actually went down in the country. So he could sit there in his mansion and talk about how the poor people are really being oppressed by the rich people.
Point, people are inevitably going to say, well, fuck you,
He is saying that it's inevitable that there's gonna be some sort of terrorist revolution in America. That is what he is trying to push, in my opinion.
You've killed my family, or you've...
What? When did this happen? When did this happen? Classic American being like, government, you killed my family. Revenge time. Bro, this isn't happening. This is not happening.
Arrested and sent a loved one to a slave labor colony. That's
well, if the loved one came into the country illegally and is also a member of a terrorist organization, I fucking hope that they're in a slave labor colony, as you put it.
Unacceptable. It will build too much resentment. In America, the mechanism of control has always been commodity consumption and also the pressure valve of
commodity consumption.
The 4-year, 2-year period of the democratic process. The idea that you have a say, the idea that your voice matters, the idea that like you can actually enact marginal change by voting for one party over the next.
Right.
But when people recognize that that pressure valve is not real, it's just...
Why is it not real? What are you talking about? What is happening? Biden did not have borders on the country, and 20 million illegal people entered the country illegally. So yes, your vote does have consequences, retard. He's just mad that you don't have a fucking terrorist government.
It's just aesthetic, and that authoritarianism...
Except it's literally not just aesthetic.
Which is something that Americans don't actually like when it's directed like this, when it's direction...
Well, actually, the majority of Americans do like it because they voted for this. They literally voted for this. You ask your average American, do you want illegal alien criminals to get deported? They'll say yes. You know how I know? Because all 7 swing states voted for Donald J. Trump.
In this way, when you know, Gestapo time takes place, when it's happening in broad daylight, then people will inevitably take up action against these sorts of government interventions.
All right, so he wants people to be violent against the government. Okay.
Lindsay, thank you. And from the ground to the air, let's go to Gil Labus over downtown LA in Sky 5.
If the Democrats don't actually even do a little bit of the bare minimum protections for its constituents here, there is no reason for them to exist.
What? What are you talking about? Does he not realize the way the government operates? That, you know, that everyone like that votes, and then you get a president, and the president actually is the president of like the whole country. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You want the Democrats to go literally hang themselves on a noose, screaming about illegal immigrants and criminals and violent people and how they should protect them? What are you talking about, bro?
It's completely over. This is, I know I've said this already time and time again, and I will probably repeat myself quite frequently.
He probably will. He does that.
But fascism is here. And I don't mean like, oh, you say everything.
Oh, Lord, he's such a pussy. You know what fascism was? Fascism was locking people in their houses if they didn't get the COVID vaccine. Fascism was COVID mandates and forcing people to social distance from each other. All right? That was fascism. That was fascism. Fascism is, we don't know who ran the country for the last 4 years because it wasn't Biden. All right, that's fascism. But no, this is a fascism that I don't like because it's when laws are actually being upheld.
Thing is fascism. Like, this is the historic fascist policies that we know and we dislike. We have seen.
We dislike. He speaks for everyone when he says that. What's going on?
We have seen this happen throughout history. This is the moment of truth. Do liberals completely capitulate, which I think they are?
As they should. You know, when the government is deporting illegal immigrants. All right, let me just remind you a little factoid that I'm sure you're going to like. Did you know that Barack Obama, the president of the United States, number 44, that dude was called the deporter-in-chief. He deported more people than Trump. But don't worry, because he's Democrat, so we like him.
Have so far, but we've officially crossed the Rubicon.
The Rubicon has been crossed. We are arresting people for crimes now, for crying out loud. Oh, anything but that.
And we're now at an impasse. Does the administration get away with it? Or do they get away?
I sure hope so. You know, enforcing the law, yeah, sounds great.
With at least ample resistance from the Democrats. Like,
Bro, are they going to get away with it? Or are they going to get away with it, but they have to fight, and it's going to be bloody? Why is this the argument you're making?
It's from the Democrats.
Sure, and Micah, this is the small group that Lindsay was just talking.
What can they do, lol? Are you kidding me? California as a state.
Yeah, what could they do, lol? Watch him try to ass fuck himself with something that the Democrats can actually do about this.
State is a nation state in and of itself.
Yeah, that's part of the country.
Whose economy is like the 5th largest economy on the planet.
Completely irrelevant. They also are part of the United States of America.
California has an army. California as a nation.
An army? You want California to have a civil war with the rest of the country to protect people that broke into the country illegally?
Nation state is profoundly important to the American nation. It's the 4th largest. I'm sorry. It's not even the 5th largest. It is the 4th largest. California as a state is the 4th largest nation state economy on the planet.
That's awesome, because everyone in Los Angeles is broke and the homeless community in Los Angeles is massive. 4th largest economy, and it's an absolute shithole.
Just the state alone. Do you know how incredible that is? Do you know how much power Governor Newsom has?
He's trying so hard to glaze that man. He wants to be on his podcast. He tried to get on his podcast earlier. He keeps trying.
It is a sanctuary state. It's supposed to be a sanctuary state. Like,
bro is trying so hard to become the king of Palestine with this one.
This and abortion protections and, like, you know, queer protections and stuff like that are only the last good things that this goddamn state has to offer.
Because Trump is the guy that implemented Roe v. Wade and is giving every state the power to do what they want in that regard. But motherfucker, if California has a civil war with the rest of the country, they are getting smoked. They're getting smoked. All the fucking people that are yelling and screaming about global warming and how California is going to sink into the sea, they'll all be off by a couple years. That shit's going to happen early. All right, let's be real here, dog. You need a lobotomy if you think that California should mobilize its personal army against the United States to stop them from deporting illegal aliens.
That's the whole point of California. That's the
point of California.
The whole point of California is that, like,
that's the point.
It's a massive nation. It's a massive state that has a massive economy that contributes so much to the rest of the world, but specifically to the rest of the United States of America. It is supposed to protect migrants. No real Californian would.
Illegal immigrants should be deported because they got there illegally. This is why Trump is president of the United States.
Ever turn around and make a big fuss about undocumented migrants at all. This is a
bro is so mad that there's borders. He's so angry that there's borders.
Border state that has more undocumented migrants and documented migrants in it than Texas. And yet it's never a talking point. It's
almost like the propaganda in LA is fucking atrocious. And you have people there that, dude, there are more genders in California than there are working fire hydrants. Why is this like an argument that he's trying to make?
Never been a talking point. Oh, we're full. California's full. We have too much.
It is shocking to hear how retarded he is. He's like, because people in California aren't screaming and crying, it means that it's totally okay to break the law. First of all, this is not true. Every business owner in California is terrified of these protests. I've spoken to business owners in California. People are moving the fuck out of California, by the way, because they hate that shit. So you're just wrong and a liar. I'll hit you with a fun fact. Get ready for a fun fact, gamers, because guess how many homeless people are currently in California, right? Remember, his argument is, oh, no one's saying, uh-oh, we're full.
Talking point. It's never been a talking point. Oh, we're full. California's full. We have too much.
Yeah, so there are 771,000 homeless people in California. What the fuck are you talking about? Does he fact check anything he says, or is he all just, does he just fearmonger?
We have too many people. That is not the California way at all.
It's not the California way. But unfortunately for you, California is part of the United States of America. You know, the country that you live in, that you should leave because it's so bad.
People don't even entertain that notion here. Like, yes, the average Californian is unironically a Hitlerite when it comes to homelessness, and crime panic narratives are very, very popular here.
Do you see what he says? Like, the way he argues, he's like, Californians don't care about illegal immigrants. Oh, but they hate crime. Interesting. But they hate crime. Am I right, guys? They hate crime.
For sure. A lot of that is born out of...
Also, more than 6 million people in California voted for Trump in 2024. Okay? So let's not make believe that no one was there. Hitlerite, it's one of his new words. Everyone's a Hitlerite, according to Hasan, if you disagree with him.
The unaffordable housing and the housing crisis that exists within the state that Gavin Newsom refuses to deal with because he is...
Do you realize... Okay, an absolute retard. Do you realize that bringing people into the country and into the state is not gonna fucking help? Like, you gotta realize, he's like, let's bring in a lot more illegal immigrants into the country. Also, the housing crisis is bad. Why do you think the housing crisis is bad? Why do you think it's bad? It's bad because there's too many people for the properties. Oh, my Lord.
Firmly invested in the same corporate benefactors that pump the Republican Party at the national level, the real estate developers and the like. Having said that, however, when it comes to undocumented migrants, Californians do not have that same reactionary attitude that Texans do. This is a state that became the 4th largest economy on the planet as a standalone state.
Yeah, thank God for the Jews.
With migrant labor. To be real, it's always been a point of complaint for Orange County. California is not a complete monolith. Yes, the reactionary enclaves exist.
Oh, so the 6 million people that voted for Trump are just reactionary enclaves.
It doesn't change the overarching attitudes in California. Is like saying, okay, well, in Santee, people actually hate migrants. Yeah, I know. It's for a reason. It's called Clanty for a reason. I know.
Dressed for war, clutching onto armored vehicles through the streets of Los Angeles. It's images like these that are striking fear into migrant communities across America.
If you're there legally, you shouldn't be afraid.
Where an already zealous immigration department, known as ICE, has been instructed to ramp up their raids and are doing so with enthusiasm. On Tuesday,
Dude, get them out. If they're illegal, get them out. That's the law.
2,200 people were arrested, a record high. Protests against the treatment of migrants took place outside detention centres, with one gathering turning violent.
They should all go to jail. If they're violent against the actual police, they should go to jail.
Elsewhere, demonstrations...
No words, Hasan? No words for your people? Your people are beating up cops. No words for them?
Has criticised the arbitrary nature of the arrests.
Our community is under attack and is being terrorized.
Yeah, the World Cup is next year, by the way, is so crazy to me. Because now we also have implemented this this silly ass like Muslim ban 2.0, not even just Muslim ban, but just like
there wasn't a Muslim ban. They banned a lot of countries that had antithetical perspectives to the United States that were directly dangerous to people in the U.S. Because, you know, there was recently this Egyptian illegal immigrant that lit a couple of Jews on fire in Colorado like last week. And shit like that. So, you know, they decided, yeah, we gotta ban people from specific dangerous countries. Based, by the way.
Every country that America dominates ban 2.0 from all around the world. We got the Olympics, we got the World Cup. Like, none of this makes sense. U.S. tourism has taken a goddamn nosedive in the process. It's crazy.
Crazy. And by the way, because people in my chat didn't believe me when I said this, the number of Californians who voted for Donald Trump varies per the election year. In the 2020 election, 6 million people. In the 2024 elections, higher than that. So yeah, I was right.
These are workers. These are fathers. These are...
Yeah, shouldn't have entered illegally.
I don't know why history has to repeat itself, by the way, this aggressively. It's like Germany had the...
America actually is not repeating anything. America is a new project that never happened before in the history of the world. So actually, no, this is not repeating itself.
Olympics in 38, I know. Why does...
How do you make this comparison? Yes, the Olympics happened in Berlin, 1936, and the Olympics also happened in America. Dude, it's literally Hitler time.
History have to repeat itself in this incredibly blunt manner. It's so crazy. Or 36, not 38.
Does this guy... And he's a communist. You know how many... 100 million people were killed by communists. Like, why are you... Why What is going on? He's like, capital is bad because capitalists made people want companies, and people in Germany wanted companies, and that became Nazis, and they killed lots of people. Unlike communism. No one ever died because of communism. Yeah, that's Hasan Piker.
It doesn't make sense how people can't understand it. It's like bludgeoning them in the head. It's right in front of them. Why did you learn anything?
They're arresting criminals. Incredibly based. That should happen.
Why did you learn anything in school if you're not going to apply it to your current living standards right now?
Everyone in school was too busy learning lesbian tap dance theory. What are you talking about?
Mothers!
They're illegal!
And this has to stop!
The record total comes after instruction from the White House demanding that ICE arrest 3,000 people a day, even without warrants. But the approach has been
if they're illegal, bye.
Criticized for denying basic legal rights.
They just told us right now that they're suspending all attorney visits, so they're denying access to us attorneys who are here to represent.
Also illegal, by the way. Everything they're doing is illegal. The fact that they're able to do this and operate like this in the state of California is insane to me. You are the state of California. Use the National Guard against the ICE agents, if that's what it takes, to force the lawyers to go in to these facilities. Like, the ICE can't do this. They don't have this kind of power.
No,
what are we doing? And if it's might is right.
Because these people should definitely have rights in America, even though they're not here legally. Yes, of course they should.
If might is right politics is what's happening, then show your might.
All right, so this is him saying that that people need to fight back with might. All right, what do you think, guys? You think that's inciting violence? What do you think? What do you think fighting back with might is all about? And that's the end of the video. Closing statement: fight back with might. Anyway, I leave that to you. Currently, Hamas Diddy Bin Laden El Salvador Piker is sitting here doing a grift. He's grifting. He's going on a walk. He's peacefully protesting. He's doing some civil disobedience. Incredibly brave. I think you should go to Gaza next. Personally, that's my vote. But anywho, lock in, boys and girl. He's wearing his little bandana to put over his face. Very awesome. Hell yeah. I love how it's so funny how the pro-Palestine people are also overlapping with the anti-ICE people. It's like, dog, stop. So anyway, thanks for being here. This is Hasan Piker, 560% fucked. He did an entire video misrepresenting the situation and making it look like we're living in Nazi Germany, grifting as much as he possibly can, trying his best to mislabel as much as he can, to fearmonger and make all these ploys, while making so many subtle jabs that you guys are going to need to get violent. California has an army. You guys need to fight back with might. Constantly and endlessly talking and shitting himself on television about how badly people need to fight back against shit, which in my opinion is an incitement of violence, but we'll let the FBI decide when they watch 560% fucked. As we know, the FBI's favorite franchise. I'll see you in the next one, gamers. And remember to stay weird, fam.
Hello, gentlemen and female gentlemen. Hasan is currently blocking a highway, which is illegal according to California law.
Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.